Clinton's plan? Like McCain, she'd have a gas tax holiday. She points out that will cost the government up to $10 billion, money that's used to improve our roads. So she'd make up for lost revenue with a windfall profits tax on the oil companies. Their profits over a certain figure would be taxed at 50%.
Oil companies aren't paying their fair share to help us solve the problems at the pump. So now in the short term, we have to take aim at these enormous oil company profits.
Clinton would also close $7.5 billion in oil and gas loopholes and monitor prices to be sure there's no manipulation.
But right now we want to get you out on the campaign trail. Hillary Clinton out on the campaign trail. She's talking now about high gas prices. Of course, all of this, the economy, issue number one. Let's listen in a little bit.
To market, on top of global competition, you're facing some pretty challenging times. It's harder for companies to hire new employees and to afford health care costs. And it's harder for employees who are struggling with all of these additional increased costs in your own lives. So in the end, everybody pays the price except the oil companies. The oil companies have figured out a way to keep profiting no matter what else happens. No matter what happens in the housing market or what happens in the trucking business or what happens in a business like Miller Veneers. The oil companies keep making out like bandits. You know, they've had the highest profits in the history of the world. And I think last year Exxon had profits of more than $40 billion. Now, today, Shell and BP, two other giant oil companies, announced their quarterly profits. And over the past 3 months, while you were being pummeled by high gas prices, Shell's profits rose by 25% and BP's by 63%. So the oil companies are doing very well. And it's high time that they help to relieve the burden of high gas prices on our families and our businesses. I think it's important that we finally get a president who understands the impact of these high gas prices and is willing to take action to bring those prices down. If you give me a chance, I will be that president because we've got to stop this gas price escalation. And I've got a plan for both short-term relief and then the longer-term action we need to take to get out from under our dependence on foreign oil. And let me be clear, my gas prices agenda is a jobs agenda. I've traveled all over Indiana saying that my campaign was about jobs, 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 and jobs, because without good jobs, everything else we're talking about is just not going to happen. And we've got to have these good jobs in order to keep growing the economy and to really keep faith with hardworking middle-class families. And we also need to get some more relief at the gas pump, because then you'll have more money here at Miller Veneers to invest in your people and to grow your business and to, you know, keep a strong job base. So I'm going to make some pledges about what I would do if I were president today and what I would do if we're still faced with these high prices if I become president next January. First, right now, I would immediately lower gas prices by temporarily suspending the gas tax for consumers and businesses. And we will pay for it by imposing a windfall profits tax on the big oil companies. They sure can't afford it. And this is a big difference in this race. My opponent opposes giving consumers a break from the gas tax. But I believe American people are being squeezed pretty hard by everything happening, the housing crisis, the health care costs, and now, of course, this increase in gas prices. And we need to rein in the special interests in order to give the middle class a break. And there are a lot of people in Indiana who would really benefit from a gas tax holiday. You know, that may not mean much to my opponent, but I think it means a lot to people who are struggling here. You know, people who commute long distances to work, farmers and truckers who are in the business of driving a lot of vehicles over a lot of miles, and people whose very livelihood depends upon getting pressure released from these sky-high prices. Now, Senator McCain says he wants a gas tax holiday, but he won't pay for it. I don't think that's responsible. His plan would slash the funds and the jobs that would go into repairing and keeping up our roads, our bridges, and our other highway interests. My gas price plan is 100% paid for because we would put a tax on the profits of the oil companies. That money would then go in to replenish the Highway Trust Fund. So while you were getting a break at the pump, the oil companies would be making sure we could keep up with our maintenance and construction on our highways. So Senator Obama won't provide relief while Senator McCain won't pay for it. And I'm the only candidate who will provide immediate relief at the pump with a plan to make it happen, turning talk into action. And a break from the gas tax is especially important to truck drivers, and you rely a lot on truck drivers. If we gave them a break from the federal gas tax, they would save more than $2 billion in fuel costs. That would be less cost to Miller Veneers.
That's Hillary Clinton in Indianapolis, Indiana, talking about her plan to at least try to curb some of the cost of gasoline on consumers. Now, here's what she's talking about. She is in favor of suspending taxes on gasoline and diesel fuel for the summer travel season. Just to give you an idea, the tax is 18.4 cents per gallon on gasoline, 24.4 cents on diesel fuel. John McCain supports that idea as well. Senator Barack Obama has not backed the gas tax proposal here.